are watching Super TV, Open View, channel 150.
Hello and welcome to the week that was. My name is Mo and I am tasked with bringing you all the hottest stories through the Daily Sun from the whole week. Now, I'm not alone as usual. I'm being joined by Amos Mananyetso, and me and him have been having a chat before the show started because the stories from this week are just so hot. So I don't want to waste your time. You have a lot to look forward to. We have Zotwa. We have a lady who booze saved her life, and we also have Digital Bones coming on later on. So, Amos, how are you doing today?
I'm alright, how's it, Mo?
I'm good, Amos. How was your week?
My week was okay. The usual. We've been getting excited in the newsroom by this and that story. So, I'm glad that it's Friday and we can bring some of those highlights to your viewers.
All right, now, super viewers, let's get started with the very first story. Now, this one is not going to shock anyone, but I'm going to say it anyway. But Ace is standing by our former president, Mr. Jacob Zuma. Oh, Brahmos' signal just went a little bit pear-shaped there. Brahmos, you were saying?
No, I'm saying we've seen quite a few things this week from the political, front. And one of them is that the former president, Jacob Zuma, was supposed to be appearing, or did appear, at least, before the Pietermaritzburg High Court in as far as his corruption case is concerned. That stems from the arms deal from a long time ago. He's been saying that he wants his day in court, but you and I know that he's been delaying this process with all the tactics, that he could employ up to this week, and we don't know really when that trial will really get underway. So Ace was there, the suspended man who also tried to suspend the president, obviously showing his true colors and his support to the ANC president, further, dividing the governing party, the ANC, into half, because obviously, he's showing defiance together with the former president. We know that they are in one faction, whereas the incumbent president, Cyril Ramaphosa, is in another camp with all his supporters. So, it's a pulling and pushing within the ANC, which unfortunately is at the detriment of the citizens of this country, because there's no service delivery at the moment. It's just the internal battles of the ANC.
All right, someone was saying yesterday that these guys are politicians and you can't expect them as politicians to be trying to advise on things that need people with qualification and professional services and experience to be advising on. So if you're asking someone about housing and he is the minister of whatnot, he is not directly affected by the technical work of building those houses and providing that housing. So sometimes we're asking the wrong people the questions and we're getting the wrong answers. And someone is saying maybe it's time that we started to look at the people on the ground and say, why is there not enough housing? Why is there no service delivery? And maybe we might get some tangible answers. But let's move on and let's talk on something that's non-political. Brahmos, I saw the story and I thought of you. This lady says we pull a Bible. Tell us more.
This lady is from Stellenbosch, believe it or not. By the way, we also have squatter camps in Stellenbosch. So what happened is that she went out drinking with her friends to a local tavern. And then when she was there, she got a call that her shack was on fire there by the squatter camp. She rushed there to see what was going on. But what she told us when we were obviously following up on the story is that she suspects that her bitter a boyfriend, she suspects that he's the one who's behind this crime of arson. Because he had posted on Facebook that he was going to do this after they had their squabbles. I don't know where he went out on a platform like that, which is public, but not only public, which is global, to say that I'm going to do this. Obviously some of the friends, Zuma, they screen grabbed his post.
Yeah.
But he didn't only stop there. So I think this guy probably doesn't really have the understanding and the appreciation of what Facebook is all about. He went on to inbox one of the friends, to say, don't tell people. But don't tell people that I had said I was going to do something like this. But it was too late at the time. And he, again, for the third time, plain stupid, honestly, went on Facebook again to post publicly that I'm not the one who did this. My friends, please don't listen to people telling you that blah, 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 blah. So, it's quite quaky, but sad at the same time. This woman lost everything in that fire. She was only left with the clothes on her back by the time we spoke to her on Sunday.
The sad part is that now, when you look at the flame, the inferno, it does have evidence of a petrol bomb being thrown into the house. But the fact that we have Facebook, I mean, all roads point to him. And at the end of the day, sometimes people don't understand how powerful social media can be. And this must be a second incident that we're hearing of this week where someone misused social media, and look at them now, might be going to jail. Let's go to the next story, because Amos, night was very touching, because it speaks about a mother who's concerned about her daughter. So I'm going to come up with a plan, consult. Amos, what happened?
Hey, man. Shame. The mother, I think she took her parental responsibility a bit too far. By locking the ability of her daughter to engage in cross, as the young ones call it out there. According to her, she says her mother cursed her because she still feels that she is not yet ready to do the deed. She thinks that she's got a few more things to learn, or a few lessons to learn at least before she can start engaging in some of these things. So, and the funny thing is that when we spoke to the mother, she admitted. She said, "Well, I'm not going to let my daughter do these things because of the reasons that I believe in, and when she's ready, or when I feel that she's ready for the world out there, I will make sure that I reverse this curse that I cast upon her." So I feel bad for the guy or the boyfriend, in this instance, but obviously the lady says she's not been able to hold down any meaningful relationship ever since this thing has started.
Brahmos, I read the story, and I'm going to ask you a question at the end of my statement. I read there in the story that, like, when during the kloof, signal and then the kloof must stop because it's not working. So before, my question is, how old is this lady, or Mamahayam quality channel?
That's the thing. I think she's in her 30s. Is it 36? I can't remember, but she's quite old enough, to be independent and free and make her own decisions. It's not like we're talking about the 15, 16-year-old girl here. No. It's a fully grown woman who can consent to anything, and who can take responsibility for her life. Yes, of course, part of the deal is that if and when she meets with a male person, that male person's member will not be able to rise to the occasion. So
Amos, if you were watching at home, I do recommend you go read the story for yourself. I mean, it's on the Daily Sun website. One thing that hit me the most was that she also says that I was suspecting that something is wrong. So I called a friend of mine, a male friend of mine. I was like, if it's Arlo test or is this really going down? And you also remember Hanotso. So she did the relevant test. Let's move on to the next story. Brahmos, I know that we're going to talk about Moonchild, we're going to talk about the digital bones, and later on we also want to talk about Zoro. But this one is one that I got shocked that I read of. It says, "Save me from my hand." Brahmos, can you please give us context?
In most cases, we've heard of stories of people masturbating and so on and so forth. And in most cases, rather, it's always been males. But this time around, this lady from, I think, somewhere in Ekurhuleni, is the one who came forward and said, you know what, the People's Paper, I need help. Please help me. I think there's a tokology that is making me do this thing because ever since I started a few months ago, about 6 or so months ago, I can't stop. I do this thing everywhere, anytime, up to 6-7 times a day. Even when I'm at a funeral, I'll feel this urge to help myself, and I would even go to the loo to help myself. So, it's crazy. She says she went to a Sangoma, and the Sangoma told her that yes, indeed, there is something that's going on, but wait for it. The Sangoma says, no, you are not alone in this thing. From what my bones are telling me is that your entire family is cursed. I can see your 2 sisters and your mom are also suffering from the same thing. Go and ask them if, my bones are lying to us. And so far, she went home. She tried to speak to her mother. Her mother said, hey, don't talk to me about funny things when I'm done. And then one of her sisters said, hey, you know what, you are right. I didn't want to talk about this thing, but I also have a problem of that nature. So, and the Sangoma said, in order for the case to be reversed or to be sorted out, she needs to go through the treatment, so to speak, with her sisters and her mother. But those ones are saying, no, we don't use those things. We'll see to it, or how do we find any help. So, but we also spoke to a sex therapist to say what could be the issue here. And the therapist said, no, look, these things happen. I've seen a lot of cases like this. It's natural, it can happen. But also it's not unhealthy to help yourself, according to this therapist. He said it's pretty much okay from time to time to beat the bishop when you feel like it. So it's absolutely healthy. There's nothing to worry about here. So it's a funny story, and we got quite a lot of feedback from our readers through different channels like social media, letters to the editor, and so on and so forth.
Brahmos, now the key thing about the story when I read it was that at the beginning she says that she was triggered by a picture she saw on Facebook of a half-naked man. So the question is, how many of our sisters, our mothers, our daughters are seeing half-naked men on Facebook, and then this becomes an everyday condition? But the question I have for you, Brahmos, is I read there, she says that, look, like, Brahmos, is there no way of helping her? Because I heard that the therapist also came in and said, like, this thing is normal. So how normal is it? I think 6-7 times a day is a lot.
Yeah, no, it's quite a lot. So, look, we try to find answers for her by speaking to different
sources,
sides of the medical fraternity, so to speak. So, it's really up to her which side she would like to go to, because the therapist said, if you want to maybe minimize this kind of addiction, you can go and see a therapist and go through, those processes, sit there, and then, they coach you on how to take it easy, basically.
Don't beat it too much.
Yeah.
Brahmos, let's move on to the next story, because now this one involves a celebrity. I did promise you that we'll be talking about Zoro, but there's not yet time for us to talk about Zoro. We're talking about Moonchild, and she's finally popped the question. Brahmos, what was the question?
The question was, marry me. I'm sure that our viewers know Moonchild. She's the lady from Mzansi with the bluest hair in the world. I don't think there's anyone around the world who has hair like her. She's always doing things the blue way. including her clothes or her wardrobe whenever she's performing. So yeah, I mean, this talented, singer who has not really told us much about her love life in the past, has just come out now to say that, you know what, I popped the question to my girlfriend, and the good thing is that she said yes. So let's keep our eyes open for that big celebrity wedding very soon, when Moonchild will be taking her sweetheart down the aisle.
So, Amos, I don't wanna sound like a skeptic, but I see a trend here, because now Moonchild is getting married, and she also just happens to have a reality show. So, are we gonna see another celebrity wedding on our TV screens?
Yeah, it's possible. Sometimes, of course, the timing of these announcements is very strategic from a PR point of view, because these artists, they want to make sure that they milk it for what it's worth.
Yeah.
But we can only wait and see. I mean, we've seen that among some of them was Mwanawa Blondi Machene Latoya, who got married recently. And most of us at first thought maybe it's just a publicity stunt or so. But we've seen quite a few.
All right, it's going to be a very interesting one. Don't forget that the story is available to you on the Daily Sun website. And if you read it, she said that they met in 2019, got Durban, July. So when they were there at Durban, July, that's where they met, and that's where the relationship kicked off, because from the moment they saw each other, the moment one sat on the other one's lap, they were like, I will now work, Rajola from this day forth. But keeping the story still in KZN, we're talking about the Buthelezi family now. They are fighting an artist, a Miskandi artist. Brahmos, what's going on there?
It's Kuzani. Kuzani is very naughty. He's always in trouble with different people for different reasons. This time around, I think I agree with him though. When you look at what he said in the article, I think it was just a light moment really, where he mimicked Ntate Mangosuthu Buthelezi, imitated him there on social media, and it was quite hilarious. I mean, if you watch that clip,
yeah.
And obviously coming from someone like him, not from the usual suspects who would be our comedians. So yeah, for a Maskandi artist to do that, it was quite hilarious. But the family is not happy. They took it very serious. Maybe because of the occasion.
Yeah.
Which Ntate Buthelezi was mimicked from, which was when the will was read there, the Queen Mantombi, in the royal house, all that. When he was calling the other prince to order, telling him to sit down, and so maybe that's why they felt touched on their studio. But yeah, it's a funny thing like that.
All right, let's move on to the story that I've been building up to now. This is a story about Zotwa. Now, it's a big story, Brahmos, because it's a big announcement. And the way she made it more social media on Instagram, I feel like all of her followers, everybody who's on Instagram is going to be very shocked at this one. I watched it 4 times thinking maybe it's a joke, or maybe there's something I don't see. But Zotwa has checked herself into rehab.
Yep. Believe it or not, the queen of the dance floors, and we know what Zodwa's favorite drink has been over the years. Long before the trend where people would dance with that cider on their heads or whatever else. So she's been doing it. She's been enjoying the drink without any shame and without hiding it. And out of the blue, and we had not heard from Zodwa in a while actually. Until this week when she made that announcement, which was a bit shocking, so to speak, because we thought she was busy breeding chickens there in the Mpumalanga at her farm. And then, Jiki, out of the blue, she was like, because Babalasa sometimes takes me a day or two to recover, which means I lose a lot of money that, I could have been performing somewhere. So, yeah. We spoke to the manager at the rehab center who confirmed that, yeah, indeed, Zoro is here. We're going to try and drain this thing and get it on the straight and narrow. So we'll see how far she'll go with this. Because you must remember that Zodwa, her office is mobile.
Of course.
It doesn't work from the same office all the time. And most of her mobile offices include being at taverns, bars, and pubs and nightclubs. So where the thing is flowing all night long. How she's going to be able to resist that temptation going forward is going to be interesting.
Well, brahmos, but she did mention, I saw the video, and when she starts off says, doctors, I'm bringing myself to you. I'm tired of this life. She even said, if you watch that video, I think she says she's tired over 6 times. She says, I am tired. And I think how she's going to prevent it, she did say in that video, my Durban friends, she was specific. It's not me. She's the one who was specific. She was like, my Durban friends, please don't call me, don't tell me about any groove, any vibes. I am out. I am tired. Even right now, I am still hungover, but it's fine. This rehab will help me. But it's a nice step. I mean, somebody did leave there on the comments on the Instagram post saying that why don't some of her fans also go to rehab? If you also feel that you have a problem with alcohol or anything, she's inspiring a lot of people to stand up and say, look, this is my life, it's my health, I need to take the right step in the right direction and actually go get help. So it's a nice story. It's a beautiful story. Let's move on to the next one. It's time for us to check out what happened this week with the digital bones. Let's go.
Abumzamo,
Yebo.
sifisa ukwazi la ukuthi bukhona na ukuthi ungasebenzisa ama-parts womuntu or usacrifice ngomuntu ukuze ube successful. Mhlawumbe ufuna ukukhulisa ibhizinisi. Iyenzeka into enjalo.
Hayi, angikhumbuli ngiyizwa, angikhumbuli ngihlangana nayo. Nasekuthwaseni la ngithwasa khona akukho lokho. Amaphathi yomuntu awasebenzi ku-business. Thina lento siyazi isebenza ku-business. Amafutha yezilwane njengoba ngisho ukuthi umuntu ugezwa ngemvu, ugezwa ngembuzi, ugezwa ngenkukhu. Amafutha yalezo zinto yiko siwazi ukuthi angasebenza for i-business. Izinto zeyelana nokuthi kufakwa namaphathi abantu ayikho e-business. Masuka kwamanga ke lapha kufuneka imali lapha abasangoma abayisebenzisi lento.
Hlalwa ngabantu.
Ya lapho badlala ngabantu ayikho kusangoma.
Brahmos, that's a very key question because all of us have come across an article once upon a time where people were saying that people are getting kidnapped, they're getting their limbs cut off because they got the limbs still. And apparently the lyrics were as muti and all that. And I like the digital bones today because it speaks on that topic.
Yeah, sure. Nail on the head as usual. Ntate Maluleke is very clear about these things. It's a myth. It's a money make.
Okay, we lost Brahmos a little bit. Let's see if we can get him back. But what he was going to say is that, the digital Sangoma did say that sometimes it's just a money-making scheme because they can see that you're in a vulnerable position and you probably want to hear the answer that you came for. So they'll definitely do say that, no, it's fine. Those things also work. So thank you, Brahmos, for joining us. Unfortunately, the internet being what it is, we've lost you. Oh, are you back?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay,
so
you can say what you were about to say. It's fine.
Sure. Yes, I was saying that, as usual, Ntate Maluleke is always on point in terms of the answers that he gives to our readers, because you must remember that all these questions that we are posing to him are not from us in the newsroom. They are from our readers who, will send us emails, letters, SMSs, WhatsApps to ask us to pass on these questions to him. So I'm very glad that he clarified that myth, and people must stop wasting their money on this nonsense.
All right, Brahmos, where can people find you on the social medias?
Amos Mananyetso on Facebook, and then everywhere else it's at Mezosti.
Thank you so much for joining us, Brahmos. We'll see you again next week, Friday from 5 p.m. Well, super viewers, that's all we have for you in terms of the week that was with the Daily Sun. I hope you liked the stories. Some interesting stories when you look at what's going on with Zoro, and you look at what's happening with Moonchild, but also some sad stories when you look at all the other stuff that we covered. But we'll be with you again next week from 5 to 5:30 on a Friday afternoon. Make sure you don't miss it here on channel 150, powered by SupaBets. It's SupaTV.
You are watching Super TV, Open View, channel 150.
Hi, this is Velemina Mabokhwani from Mamelodi SupaBet branch. Catch Super TV on channel 150, Open View, your place to play.
Big fat butt.